Last week, the Broncos stampeded into the Sydney Rugby League competition in their first true trial. Complete with the razzmatazz of dancing girls, big bands and fireworks, it was just the start the brand new club needed. A slower start on the field, but once the Broncos began to gallop, the scoreboard kept ticking over. No Wally Lewis last week, but the Emperor is ready to strike back tonight off the reserve bench after a knee injury. And look out for another dazzling performance from the Prince of the Park, Alan Langer.
Broncos on the attack, so it's Walters up his dummy half, back over there to Downing, turns it on to Walters. Walters trying to get through, but he can't. The tackle coming around from Russell. Tutor up there, about to play it, waiting up his dummy half is Madison to Langer, Langer to Groff. Groff is racing back into a heap of forwards up there and put to the ground. He'll get up to play it though, back over to Langer. Langer quickly spinning it on, and they're making their way through. Miles gets it away this time to Johns. Johns held up in the tackle though, back there to grab a hold of him will be Mark Horo. He'll play it though, Walters waiting up his dummy half. Broncos putting on the pressure. Here's Walters trying to slip through. He's reaching for the line, and it's no try.
Double movement, looked like it too, caught short.
And as we welcome you back, Colin Scott making a great run inroads into this New Zealand defence. There goes Gene Miles from dummy half, the one-handed pass back to Walters, to Terry Madison, and he's 11 metres short of the line. Walters again to dummy half. They got the numbers out wide. Langer with the long cut-out pass. Out for Walters. Brett Walters came back infield. Still a man to beat. Got through one. Finally held up by the wing three-quarter Mark Bourneville. And he's taken just 2 metres short of the line. Terrod Walters a dummy half for Langer, for Groff. Groff with the long pass. That's Brett LeMan. Beautiful pass. Madison back in for LeMan. That is a great Broncos try, and they lead by 4 points to 0.
Wayne Bennett there, he'd be satisfied with their skills.
And again, New Zealand, by the way, in international numbering, that means your lock forward is number 13. So that's the little halfback going around with it. Tutor on the blind side. He'll play it. Away from dummy half this time. Running around there is Rapati. He's lost the ball. It's going to be picked up by the Broncos. Out to G. G gets it on to Madison. Madison through the gap, going for the line. Try number 2 for the Broncos. In he goes.
This guy can play. Good from head on. We'll see how Madison runs to the gap. Scoots away from the defence. Couldn't get to him. Was the number 4 Panapa. And there's Madison to get across for a good defence. Here it is. It was scrappy. There's Dowling trying to pick up the loose ball. He knocked it on. Oh, the knee. The knee right into the side.
That's probably a bruised hip, actually, David.
Yeah,
and they also can be very, very painful.
Bit of trouble with their combination. Can't get any real teamwork together. And finding it difficult to string together the passes and make progress.
That's Walters the dummy half. Switch of play now. Centre field midway between the half of 22. The Broncos in the lead by 10. 2 tries to 0. One was scored by Terry Madison, the man that unloaded that pass. The other was scored by Brett LeMan, but Madison had a big hand in that one as well. He's one of the good buys for the Broncos in 88. Through Groff. It goes out through the centre three-quarter. Johns, beautiful step. Oh, he's through. Johns, support. Great pass. It's gone astray. Picked up by Colin Scott, but Eddie Ward says play the knock on. And that was a chance that went begging.
Certainly was. What went on for the Broncos? Joe Kilroy drops back to fullback.
And Walters goes to the wing. That'll be the story. Here's Tudor with it. Gets it away to Panapa. Panapa cuts out Rapati, but on it goes. Coming up nicely this time. Stretching out for New Zealand will be Krika. Krika cutting inside. But Lewis is over the top. And there's a Bronco going in underneath to pull him down. And it was Horn, I think. Horn rather. He plays it anyway. Play goes on. New Zealand throwing it around, but now losing it. Towed through. Walters going out, or Hancock going out after it, but ending up with it for New Zealand was Dawson. Pretty scrappy stuff all the way around here. But eventually New Zealand with it a couple of metres inside Broncos territory.
Mark Hone was a player who's now getting some attention from the trainer, Kenny Ra.
He's had his work cut out tonight. He's been here, there and everywhere. So now New Zealand with it. Back they go to Tutor coming through. He's going to be put to the ground on the tackle.
They're calling for a replacement for Mark Hone.
So now back it comes to Bancroft. Bancroft getting it away then to Hora. Now the ball rolling loose. Towed through. Still being taken, but the player was tackled without the ball. I'd say held on to without the ball. The referee is going to call a halt to play.
It is out from the New Zealand line. Langer from the back of the scrum to Lewis. Oh, he cut Lewis out and took the tackle. The defence from New Zealand up quickly on the 10-metre line. Here's the break from the dummy half roll. A chance. It's a try to the Brisbane Broncos, and it's been scored by Michael Hancock. his first try for the Broncos since joining the club. What's the second row forward, Woods? Harvey from dummy half, it goes out through Bancroft. This time he hoiks it downfield. Hancock is retreating, so too is Joe Kilroy. Kilroy picked it up well, about 10 metres out from his own 22, and takes play to about 5 metres of the halfway line. The tackle affected by Sam Panapa.
Joe Kilroy very keen to make every post a winner. He knows this is his chance to try and make the top side next week.
Lewis, pass now, out for Billy Noak. Chris Johns had a bit of a clash in centre field with one of his Kiwi opponents, that's Tessman. Tucks the ball under one arm, stands very upright when he runs. Walters now a dummy half. It goes out through Langer, he's left it behind, scooped up by Lewis. Tried to bump out of one tackle, got it to his Kangaroo teammate Gene Miles. That's a great run by the big test centre. He unloaded the pass to Hancock, popped it back in for Walters. But the pass has been ruled forward. Great lead up by the Broncos, but good refereeing by Eddie Ward. The good thing is for the Broncos that Wally Lewis appears to have come through this trial brimful of confidence.
New Zealand players offside there after knock-on. Couldn't pick it up. Langer certainly did.
That's LeMan. Out pass for Miles and then a Johns. Oh, great break by Chris Johns into open space. Through the dummy. That's a magnificent tackle. Gee, that was a great tackle by the fullback Sutton, and now Paikea runs it out. Well, Billy J. Smith, you wouldn't see a better tackle from a fullback than that.
What was that message there, Terry? Right, here's Langer sending it across to Lewis. Lewis with a long one to Miles. Miles turns around, starts to cut back up the centre. Still going the big foul back to Lewis with that one-handed one that almost gives you heart failure.
So Wally gets up.
Righto, from the play the ball now. The Broncos right on the line there. This is Langer turning it back inside. LeMan coming through. LeMan fighting his way for that line. He's about 5 metres out. Walters from dummy half on to Madison. Madison trying to crash it up there, but he's going to be put to the ground in the tackle. About to play. Waiting his dummy half is Walters. Langer and Lewis are getting a bit of a chat going there. So what's going to happen? Back it goes to Walder. Walder puts his head down and he's over underneath the post.
How much class has this fella got? He didn't even want the ball then. The ball came through him. He thought, well, I better do something. So he took...
Alan Langer is now off, but he also has ice on his right knee, so there's nobody left to go on.
Well, Rowan Teven, a young player from Redcliffe, who apparently played a very impressive trial in North Queensland during the week. There's Bourneville. Well, really has had an unhappy game. Driven back another 5 or 6 metres. So a test for the Broncos defence once again. I know that Wayne Bennett would love to keep the scoreline 0 as far as New Zealand are concerned. No soft tries in the latter part of the second half. That would be the instructions. Panapa out for Brown. Brown through the dummy. That's Rapati. Rapati inside the 22. He'll go on his own. And that's the try. He went so close to going over the dead ball line as well. But Ivor Rapati scores New Zealand's first try. And the scoreline is 22 points to 4.
Again, from the play the ball, that's G. G a couple of metres inside New Zealand territory. Walters is dummy half.
One of the things Wayne Bennett was disappointed with last week, Bill, was the fact they didn't finish on. There's a beautiful pass.
Stuff. Madison got it back inside, still going through. And working his way up there will be Billy Noak. Noak put to the ground right on the quarter line. So from the play now, this is Lewis. Lewis sends a nice pass outside to Gene Miles. Will he go to the corner himself? Yes, he will, and he's in. Big Gino runs right around another 10 metres and puts it down, and the Broncos go further to lead, 24 points to 6.
There's the tap restart by the Brisbane Broncos for G to Groff to Lewis. That's Billy Noak, a player trying to impress out there for one of those contentious second row spots. There's the pass back now. Long pass, Madison overhead pass. Here's Tasman, support inside of Hancock. And Hancock comes around under the post for his second try. So it appears now that Groff is the man. This is the fourth kicker used by the Brisbane Broncos tonight. Craig Groff, left foot. Up go the flags. So a further change to the scoreline, a 26-point advantage to the Brisbane Broncos. And we've got just about a minute and a half remaining.
Once again, been some good performances from the Broncos, and each week we're going to have a Broncos award for the match, and it's good to have George Simons back involved with rugby league. The outfit of the Broncos, of course, they've got the smart jerseys, but they're also going to be the best dressed side in town with seats given each week for the Broncos' best player.
Here we go. We're coming into the final minute of play here at Lang Park, and the Broncos with a good lead of 32 points to 6. That's good in anyone's business, but there's several other reasons why Wayne Bennett to be happy tonight, and we'll talk about those just a little bit later. But that's G. Sending it back inside to Groff. Groff away to Walters. Walters up to the halfway mark, still keeping it going, and that's Madison going to ground with it. He'll get up to play. Keith G down injured in the background, but he got up and he's back into it again. This is Lewis. He makes out he's going to kick. He bounces forward. Then he gets a pass back over to Teven. Teven take a little bit high on that occasion. Put down about 10 metres inside New Zealand territory. You'd think it was the first minute of the match. They really want to keep it going. This is Tessman again, the big fellow on the bustle. Gets a pass away this time nicely. Back inside to Groff, and Groff will give us another one in the final minute of play. Nice work today. There he is coming out to Madison. Turns it back inside. Sutton couldn't do anything else. He had to go for the man with the ball, but that came to Groff, and Groff is over for the try. He attempts to convert it, and meanwhile, of course, the full-time hooter has sounded as all that activity was going on. So a big scoreline here for the Broncos tonight. They can approach next week's match against Manly with a fair amount of confidence under their tail, but I think there'd still be a fair bit of work to be done, as Wayne Bennett would say. 7 tries they've run in tonight. That try is converted. So the full-time score, the Brisbane Broncos defeat New Zealand by 38 points to 6. 38-6, the full-time score here at Lang Park.